Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it would be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! First story. Hey officers, I'm over here. One day a woman in her mid-50s called 911 stating she had been robbed at one of our local stores and said, "Help! I've been robbed! I need the police quick!" And she hung up and ignored all the calls from the dispatch trying to call her back. So naturally, when a call comes in like that, the dispatcher is going to put out an urgent call and we all drop what we're doing and go. Code 3. Lights and sirens. I was at a traffic stop when the call came over the radio, and knowing I was only a mile or so away, I ended the traffic stop, gave them back their license and took off. I'm first to arrive, followed by several sheriff's deputies who provide mutual aid, as we're a small department. We got there and surveyed the area for the victim, which was unusual as in my experience people who need police quickly tend to meet us at our door before we even come to a stop. But we had to actively look for the victim in this case. So as I'm walking towards the front door to go inside, thinking they went in for safety reasons, when I see a short blue-haired woman with her hand in the air waving at us. "Hey officers, I'm over here!" So a deputy and I went over to her while the others were preparing to do a search. And one of the deputies who responded had a K9 and was getting his dog ready to track if needed. We go over to the woman. "It is our understanding that you've been robbed, ma'am. How long ago was it? What did they rob you of? And which direction did they go afterwards?" She replies that it happened about 10 minutes earlier, and she stated that they robbed her of about $300 and said they were still inside the store. The deputy and I both looked at each other like, no, he can't be that stupid. I mean, some criminals really are that stupid. Once I was told that a guy stole a wallet from a man who then watched as a guy walked across the street to use his bank card. We got there just as he was walking out with 2 24 of beer. I called over to the other deputies and told them the situation and that suspect fled inside the store, so they gathered around so we can get more details on what the person looked like, clothes and so on. I say, "Ma'am, what did he look like? What was he wearing?" "Oh, he's wearing a store uniform. It was a manager, Mike." "Wait, you're telling us the manager came outside, robbed you and then went back into work?" "No, he robbed me inside the store. He wouldn't accept my $300 off coupon for my purchases. So he robbed me of $300. I want him arrested, and you can be sure I'm going to be calling his bosses to get him fired. But I can't imagine him having a job after you guys arrest him anyway." The deputy and I exchange a look of disbelief, and we tell the other officers and deputies what the situation was and made a plan for two of us to go in each of the main doors while one stayed with the victim. And the rest resumed their regular patrol. I say, "Okay, ma'am. Remain here with this officer and give him your information. Deputy J and I are going to go inside and see if we can find Mike and get his side of the story since we got your side." "What side is there to get? You're supposed to always believe the victim, not the robber." I just ignored the comment and walked in the door. As I walked in, the manager was already waiting for me. He was waiting to see if we needed anything from him as he thought there was an actual robbery incident in the parking lot. He had no idea we were there about him. I told him why we were there and what she said and everything. And he does an actual facepalm and says, "Oh my god, she actually did that? That woman is bonkers. We have issues with her every time she comes in, trying to use fake coupons she finds on Facebook and other renegade sites. When we tell her they can't be used as they are fake and even prove it by scanning the barcode, She always says we just don't want to honor the coupons because we're just mad and want to steal them. She claims Facebook only gives them to important clients, and if we don't process them, she's going to call 911 and say that I robbed her. So after talking to the manager a bit more about all the trouble she causes every time she comes in, and how she was once temporarily banned for 6 months, he then directs me to the cashier who attempted to check her out, and she confirms a woman is nuttier than a fruitcake and once attempted to use a $1,500 off coupon she found online. Before leaving, I asked the manager if he wanted her trespassed, and with a big smile he said, "Absolutely." I walked back outside, and I didn't even have to say anything. I just nodded my head to the deputy, and she knew that meant to hook her up with some shiny new bracelets to a trip to the county-owned bed and breakfast. After realizing what was happening, she promptly started screaming, "What are you arresting me for? He's the one who robbed me. I'm the victim. You don't arrest the victim." She then starts flailing and fighting with the deputy and myself and ends up having asphalt for lunch after she tried to backkick the deputy between the legs, forgetting she was a female. Okay. As we carry her to the shop, still trying to kick us as we do, she's screaming about how the police never believes her when she tells them that she's been robbed. We finally get her in the car and I'm reading her Miranda warning. After I finish, I ask if she wished to speak to me about what happened. And this is when she honks back. Before I had time to react, she spit directly in my face with most of it getting in my eyes. She's screeching the whole 20-minute ride to the station about how she's a victim, how she's going to sue the store for making false claims, and how I and the deputy better start putting in applications at McDonald's and Burger King, as I'm going to be out of a job soon and living on the street, and she's going to take everything I own when she sues me. She actually did file a complaint with IA and the sheriff, and when we were cleared of any wrongdoing, she tried to sue, but it was promptly dismissed and was literally left out of court by the judge. Side note: while I was at the jail doing my paperwork, I did a search for her name. I found she had no previous arrest, which I was sure I'd find at least one or more. But nope, I did however find at least 6 reports in unfounded calls, and to my surprise, not a single arrest or citation issued. Just no trespass orders. She was ultimately charged with misusing the 911 system misdemeanor, filing a false police report misdemeanor, battery on a law enforcement official, which is a felony, and battery on an officer with bodily fluid spit. It was a felony because her spit landed in my eyes. From my understanding from the DA, after she was found guilty at the trial, she spent a little bit of time in jail for that stunt and was banned from that store for life and from just about every other store in the area, as she caused trouble at all of them. But it's been 7 or 8 years and I haven't been out on a call out for her, so I don't know if she's moved on to another area or what, but I never answered another call regarding her. Next story. Never skip the taxi fare. Your foot will thank you. This is a story from 50-ish years ago, so I'm almost certainly paraphrasing, so small details like exact locations and money are a bit off. Now to our main cast. Taxi Grand, the star of this crazy show. Fee Thief, the scumbag who tried to run away from the taxi bill. Tired Cub, the police officer who was done with everyone's rubbish. And the thief's friend 1 and 2, the nice friends of Fee Thief. The setting. Taxi Grand was in her 20s at the time, lived in Newcastle, England, and worked as a taxi driver to pay the bills and put food on the table. Now then, on to the story. Late in the night, on one of her usual shifts, she is signaled by Fee Thief to pick her up, so she pulls over, lets him into the taxi, and then asks, "Where are you heading, sir?" and he gives her the location of a certain club, and she proceeded to drive towards it. When the taxi gran and fee thief arrive at the club, she tells him, £20 please, and the fee thief books it as fast as possible. Now taxi gran is in a small panic and is quite mad at the fee thief for not paying her. Now she does the only appropriate thing and runs over his foot. Once the fee thief's foot is under the extremely heavy taxi, he starts screaming bloody murder and drops to the floor like a sack of potatoes, and then this conversation ensues.
You crazy witch! Get off my foot right now!
My wheel isn't moving until the police arrive, you scumbag.
Get off!
You can get lost. I am not moving till the police arrive. The fee thief kept swearing in pain while sobbing. After the police call and a lot of bickering, comes our tired cop who starts by talking to the taxi gran. Ma'am, why are you currently parked on this man's foot? He looked sleepy and apathetic. And she tells him, he ran off on the fare and I need my pay. Okay, please can you go into greater detail? And she explains what happened in the story up until now. The tired cop then walks up to the fee thief and listens to his side of the story, reaches into the fee thief's pocket and takes his wallet out, reaches for a £20 note in the fee thief wallet, hands it to the taxi gran and then asks her, can you please remove your wheel from his foot now, ma'am? Yes, officer. She then gently rolled her wheel off the fee thief's foot, and he was driven to the hospital, and you may now think that this is the end, but there is one last bit that is the cherry on top of this story. So back to the story. 4 hours later, taxi gran is still on the job near the just closed clubs looking for someone to signal her over, and just on cue to people that thief's friend 1 and 2 do just that. So she picks them up as usual, but then one of them asks, can you wait here for someone? They won't be long. Sure, I could wait. And 5 minutes later, a not-so-friendly face walks in with crutches and broken pride. The fee thief.
Wait, you're the witch that broke my foot.
One of his friends says, wait, a girl broke your foot? Now my grandma aka Taxi Gran being from a time where sexism was still somewhat acceptable. The fee thief did not tell his mates a woman broke his foot in fear of getting picked on. But his friends kept laughing and snickering. You, get the hell out.
But my mates are here.
He says it in the most moany way possible. I don't care, get lost.
Guys, help me out here.
We're alright, mate. You can figure this one out yourself.
Fine.
He walks away like a defeated 6-year-old. Then Granny tells him, give me a second, gents. She gets out of the taxi and yells to the other taxi drivers up front, none of you take this thieving jerk. She then takes the friends to their homes, while they joke and laugh so hard about their thieving friend. Moral of the story, do not mess with my grandma. Next story. Pulled out an Uno reverse card. This happened earlier this week. Quick background information. I work at a company that installs custom closets. Our uniform includes a blue button-up Carhartt shirt with the company logo on it. I think some of you may already be picking up on where this is going. So I'm driving home from work after a very long and tedious day, completely covered in sawdust when I get a call from my lovely wife. She had put in a pickup order at the local Walmart, but they had failed to give her our almond milk. She asks if I'd be willing to stop and let them know they shorted us and grab it. While I'm not particularly enthusiastic to add a stop on my way home, I tell her okay. I get there and head on over to the customer service desk and explain the situation. The lady working there is very sweet and tells me she'll have somebody from the pickup department swing over and take care of me. She gestures towards a nearby bench and she informs me that I can have a seat while I wait. I gladly did so and promptly pulled out my phone and attempted to disassociate for a few minutes. A few minutes, maybe 5 at most, go by, and a line forms up. I guess a lady at the desk stepped away for a moment. I start to hear grumbling about lazy employees and how nobody has any work ethic anymore. Wish I could be more specific on their exact phrasing, but I was trying very hard not to pay attention to anything going on around me at this point. After a few more moments, I hear a very aggressive clearing of a throat, followed by a very annoyed sounding,
Excuse me, sir. I've been waiting for help for over 10 minutes.
I look up to see a woman holding an armful full of clothes, glaring at me. She will henceforth be referred to as Glaring Woman, or GW for short. I tell her, well, I find that unlikely, as I haven't been here for 10 minutes and I got here before you.
Well, maybe this will go faster if you weren't messing around on your phone.
At this point, I've now connected the dots and realized that she thinks I work here. I'm about to utter the words classic I don't work here line when an idea hits me. You're right. Sorry for holding you up. I pull up the Walmart app on my phone and show her the almond milk. My wife and I did not get the almond milk we ordered. We were supposed to get 2 cartons.
Why are you showing me your phone?
So you can grab me my almond milk. Is that not why you're here?
Ew, no, I don't work here.
Q's malicious grin. Well, neither do I. How about we stop bothering each other now? She looked me up and down and I could see realization dawn on her face. She quietly walked back to the line and I sat down on my bench. Eventually the desk lady came back and got the line moving, and an employee from the pickup came and got me my milk. And that's the story. At least she didn't try to get me fired. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.